Hi, good afternoon. My name is Barbara Butler. I'm the host of Conversations with Barbara. And today I'm sitting here having a conversation with Tiara Rogers. Today we're just going to have just a little bit of girl talk about things and issues or just situations that's going on just in the world and maybe possibly in our life. Okay, Tiara, can you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Tiara. I am a mother of 3 beautiful daughters. I am also a minister. I like to dance. And I'm just a free spirit. I'm just a girl's girl. And I mean, I'm from Houston, so I'm not from the DMV, but I've been here for about 17 years now. So I guess you could say I am literally a DC girl by way of Houston, and that's about it. And I just love to spend time with people. That's it. I'm just a people person.
Okay, so some of the things we wanted to talk about, just relationships you have with individuals on your job, relationships you have with girlfriends, relationships you have with your spouse, and we also want to talk about stuff with our children. Okay. So I guess when I was talking to you the other day, I had mentioned that for the life of me, I didn't understand why when there's a bunch of women that work together in an office environment, that there's always like a bunch of confusion or some people might say she thinks she all that, or I don't like her. And I feel sometimes people say they don't like people and you don't even know them. So I'm like, what's your take on women not liking people that they don't know, even had a conversation with?
Well, I can definitely chime in on this. So I can be honest. I've actually been one of them women before. I judge a book by its cover, and I think it comes from because growing up, I wasn't always in the in crowd or whatever, and I was bullied and I was picked and mocked on because I didn't have the latest designer stuff, I had hair. I always had hair, but I didn't have like long silky hair, or I didn't have the latest hairstyles, or tennis shoes and stuff like that. So it kind of is something that comes from childhood too as well, and it's a lot of insecurity. So it's like, well, I know this group of women. If I see this woman, she's dressed from head to toe, her hair's always laid, shoes, she got the Louboutins, all this stuff. She could never like nobody like me. So before she get a chance to pick me, I'm gonna hate you first. And that's kind of how it is. It's been like that. It was like that for me in my early 20s. Because I suffer personally with insecurities. And that came from family situations. More so than it came from siblings. I mean, more so than it came from like peers. It came from my own family. So I've always felt like, I don't like you for you don't like me. So now what? I avoid females. I used to avoid females because I'm like, I don't do females. I don't like females because it's always been females. That's always.
But do you think that just because some woman has confidence in herself doesn't mean that thinks she's all that?
Yeah, I had to learn that later though, because it's something, like you say, when you don't like somebody based on what they look like, it's highlighting your insecurities. And the main thing we gotta do, sometimes you gotta fix yourself. You have to fix yourself, and you gotta deal with those insecurities. Like you might say, like me, I know I'm insecure, but I ain't gonna tell nobody that. But just by you not interacting with another female, it already highlights it. It shows that something's wrong with you. And this woman has done nothing to. She probably said it was good morning, and you be like, she thinks she all that. She thinks she all that because she said good morning. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of, it's an inner thing. It's a heart thing. It's an inner thing. And until you fix that inner you, you're going to always see other women as competition. And I don't understand why. But it wasn't until I literally, it wasn't until I got into ministry that when I first came into ministry, I was like, oh, it's a lot of these little light-skinned chicks over here. There's long hair. And mind you, I'm not there for other women. I am there to get a closer relationship with God. But I already went in there already feeling like, all right, these people, you know, I don't dress like this, I don't wear heels, I don't wear lipstick, I'm just this. So it highlighted, it made me feel some type of way.
But I think sometimes if you take the time to have a conversation with somebody, there's a possibility that you guys could have a lot of stuff in common.
Listen, that's absolutely the truth. And I'm going to say ministry because when I started going to church as an adult, I was in my 20s. I think I just had my last child. And I started going to this church. And I already felt like that because it was so much stuff that I was already dealing with. But I would tell you, the same women that I was like, she'll never talk to me, or they'll do this, or they'll overlook me or whatever, was the main ones that helped me be the woman I am today. They actually have, like, literally have made me, help me be the woman that I am today. And I always was like, I don't do her.
But sometimes if you be with somebody that has confidence, they can help you instill confidence.
And that has happened with me. That actually has happened. And I will say that I have to say ministry because even in my family, I have family members that will beat you down, or when they see something, sometimes it don't always be you. It's people see you and they see the potential in you, and they'll make you feel, they'll try to beat it down so that you don't feel like you won't arise to that occasion. So I will say that it was women that I went to church with every Sunday that actually was like, "Girl, you beautiful," or "Look at you, you're a good mother," and this and that. Like, it was literally, and I used to be like, I think she's trying to be funny. But I'll be like, oh, thank you. But realistically, it's because sometimes when you don't deal with those traumas, it trickles over to every area in your life. And for you to deal with your insecurities, you really have to start like thinking that everybody's not against you.
Right.
Everybody's not against you just because
some people like are so defensive off the bat. Yeah, and you'd be like, wow. I mean, you didn't even give me a chance to get to know you. Nope. You're already standing like standoffish.
See, I'm a watcher, right?
Right.
I'm the kind of person, I'm quiet. Sometimes you won't even know that I'm in a room. I'm quiet until you really get to know me. So I'm like, I'll be back there and I'll be watching. I can just see, and you sit in the back of anyway, it'll tell you a lot. And you show you a lot. So I sit in the back and I'll be like, that's how she, yeah, that's enough. So then afterwards, you're like, yeah, because you know that girl right there, that one right there, well, I don't do her because she was right, she was like this, she did this, and then she did like this, and the other girl like this. So I'm like, so if I sit up there, you won't talk about me. And one thing about me is I'm a fighter. I'm going to fight you. I ain't going to argue. I ain't got a lot of words for you. I'm going to fight you. And that was me back then, though.
Right.
But that was also my insecurities, though. Right. That's also coming from a place where you're not taught that. I mean, that I wasn't, like my mom never said, Tiara, you're beautiful, or you're good, you know, you're good enough, or whatever. I never had those words of affirmation. And I got them from strangers. I got those from people later on in life.
So since that wasn't done to you, do you find yourself doing that to your kids, telling them you're beautiful, you're smart?
Man, yes, from the womb, definitely. And I have my oldest daughter. She's very, very very quiet. She was bullied, and it has definitely shaped who she is now. But I've always been, because you are beautiful, you're talented, you're gifted, I love you. We have normalized telling our children I love you.
Yeah.
It's more than just like we show them by action, but sometimes you need to hear that. Yep, I love you. And I've gotten I love you from strangers, from women that I met later in life. And that made a world of difference, because sometimes not just so much about action. Yeah, I see because some people's actions are just, it could be, you know, out of ill will or just to prove a point. But when I hear you say I love you and it's followed by them actions, it means a lot to you. It does. It does a lot. It does. It started to heal the insecurities and you know, in me. It started to. It really did. I mean, I would never thought that being like hearing that from a stranger, another person, would actually help me with my insecurities.
So I think sometimes if you're insecure in one area of your life, it spills over into other areas of your life.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Why are you trying to get something started? Yes, it does. It really do. Because let me tell you, when you just said that, it just helped me just think about like my call of being a minister. And you know, when you being a minister, when you're not quite, you don't get the whole grand scheme of all of it. it's like you always think, well, a minister got to have the microphone. They got to be confident, because every minister I know, they look like they confident, they know what they talking about. They put together, they done got a suit.
And baby, and when I tell you that they can pray for 30, 45 minutes.
And I be like, ooh. And that height in my instant. So now that I got over the way I look, how short I am, or how thick, how slim, or whatever, I done got over the outside of insecurities. Because now I'm like, oh, I love my little chocolate skin. You can't tell me nothing.
Right.
But now it's like, okay, you're a minister. And that just heightened it. Like, now I got to talk. I don't talk like that. I don't know Taoist and artists and all this. I don't talk like that. My relationship with God is like, listen, hey, Dad, your people tripping. I'm mad right now. That's how I talk.
Right.
But I feel like, some people just can't accept. They don't accept it. Like, girl, she's so ghetto. And it just does something to you. Man, I'm telling you, if it ain't one thing, it's another.
You know what I've realized is that we need to stop comparing ourselves to other people.
Yeah.
Because there's something special about you.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to tap into our own abilities, our own gifts, and go with what God has given us, instead of us trying to copy somebody else or think somebody else got it all together and we don't got it together like they do, because we don't know what their situation really is. They could be put together on the outside and jacked up on the inside.
But everybody has a process they have to go through.
Yeah.
And when you skip your own process, you skip your own growth.
Yeah.
Everything good, it has to come. It's a process. It's a process in everything that we use, we do, we see. It's a process to make it. It's like this camera. It's a process. You had to put the pieces together. First it came out with a blueprint.
Yeah.
We got to understand that there's a blueprint on all our lives.
Yes.
And if we try to skip the process to get over here because we see, oh, Shamika got it together. But we don't know what Shamika had to go through to get to where she is now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I always try to say. Don't judge a book by its cover, because you just don't know what people are going through or what it takes for them to get themselves together like that. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a struggle for them to just put themselves together like that and walk out the door.
Bishop saying, I bet if everybody wrote their problems down, what they going through, leave it at the altar, you'll pick yours right back up. That always stuck with me, because it always reminded me to be grateful, because it could be worse.
Yes.
Some people just got it good. They just know how to handle it as good. And sometimes you just don't, or whatever. So just because somebody look like they got it together don't mean that they got it together at all. Because when people say, girl, you do this and you got, I'm like, I do? I tell them myself all the time, I ain't going to fake it. I'm like, I do? Girl, you don't know. That thing is hard.
I just wish people would stop judging people before you really get to know them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think you do a disjustice to yourself, and you do a disjustice to that person. That person might have something for you or could speak a word to you that could change your life. But because you never took the time to talk to them, or you thought that they wasn't good enough, or you thought that they was too good to talk to you. I mean, but look what happened when you actually did get to know them. What they imparted in your life.
So, can we say names on here?
Sure, go ahead.
So, we went to the same church, whatever, but I remember it was this one, and I love her to this day. Is like my forever sister. And I'll never forget her, Minister Kia. She's short little thing, a little shorter than me, and walk around and got, I'm like, all this confidence, right? And I'm like, she'll never talk to me. I don't like her. I can't. And don't get me wrong, because I've told her this. I told her this. But I was like, her confidence kind of brought out my insecurities, and I was like, she'll never talk to me. And it was just, she talked with confidence. She spoke with authority to me. And it was crazy, because one day I was home, and my husband was going through, he was about to lose our house and everything. And right at that moment, I'm in the basement, I'm praying, and she calls me. Now, everybody she knows, actually she was closer to my best friend than she was to me. So she called me out there, she said, hey, I got an opportunity for you, PG Hospital. She was like, she said it's like a PRN, but it's a foot in the door or whatever. So let me know. So I said, yeah, go ahead. She set it up with the manager and everything. I came for an interview. left and I felt good or whatever. But I kept always wondering, like, she could have called anybody in that church, but she called me, and I'm not really that close to her. So then, like a week later, I guess she was like, "Congratulations." I said, "What?" She said, "You ain't get a phone call?" I was like, "No." She was like, "Oh, my bad." Well, yeah, she giving you the job, and I'm like, "Wow." So long story short, mind you, she was the coordinator, meaning she did the scheduling stuff for the nurses and stuff, and I was the secretary. So we get there, I get to work or whatever. She did her and Pastor, now she's a pastor now, Pastor Tony, they met me at orientation. They came down and they made me feel good. Now mind you, I'm like, these, to me in my head, these two big heavy hitters in our church, and I'm like, oh, they coming to see my little old me or whatever. Long story short, I was working at PG for almost 7 years, and Minister Key and I, we always, like, she was the coordinator now, you know, everybody could tell that we got tighter then or whatever. But she looked out for me. The same person I was like, I can't do, was the same person that came to see about me in my lowest times. She, I judged her because I was like, she got an attitude problem. She nasty. But I watched the same woman I said was nasty take off a little, what you call those, a little cover up, a little
shawl.
Yeah, a little shawl. Woman said, "Oh my God, I love this so much." And I'm at her office door just talking. And she said, "Oh, you like it?" She said, "I'm going to go home and take it." She said, "I'll take it now." She took off her thing, folded up, and gave it to the woman. And in my mind, I felt convicted. Because I was like, I used to like this woman. She just get on my nerve and never said anything to me. I'll be another transparent moment.
Well, maybe she could have been like how you say, you sit back and you observe people. Maybe she's one of those people too that sit back and observe people before
she definitely observes.
You know, before you open up to people.
Right.
I mean, some people are guarded, and there's reasons that they guarded. But sometimes it's unfair to new people that you meet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But she definitely was. She definitely is that type of person as well too. She's a watcher too. But I had to. I mean. It convicted me, and it always convicts me now to try not to be there, because guess what? You're gonna be on the receiving end. Somebody's not gonna like you for no apparent reason. But it took for me to actually be open, and I feel like it was God's way of showing, like, you can't always read a book by its cover. And what I took was her having an attitude or whatever. It wasn't it was passion, realistically, and that's what I'm learning now. It's not passion. It's not an attitude or she stank or she stuck up. It literally was passion, because she always said, I do ministry outside the four walls of the church. And I literally got to work with her for years and watch her do it. It's been times I've watched her go into patients' room and pray with them. Or she tried to move heaven and hell to get things done for people. So, and this, I'm telling you, for years, because I was maybe I was on 15 years. For years, for the first few years of Living As I just don't like, and I served on the praise team with her. Then I'm like, she was like my biggest, and I never knew that. She was one of my pushers. But it took for like me to get into a dark place, and I kept saying, like, what she want in my mind, like, what you get out of this? And she never asked me for nothing, ever.
God put people in your life for a reason.
And that's how I felt. I came to Maryland with my husband. I have no family here. Till this day, I still have no family here. But the church has become my family. Like, literally, I don't like to call it strangers, but that's how I seen it in the beginning. They're strangers. And it was women. It wasn't men. It wasn't none of the men. It was the women that were like, hey, your girl's good, you good, or whatever. And automatically, when you have a soul and you really have a real relationship with God, conviction is your friend. Like, I was convicted because I'm like, I judge this woman, I done judge this woman. And they didn't get the chance to really see. I robbed them of a chance to get to see who Tiara really was, because I was so, no thank you.
And you even robbed them of showing you
who they were. But when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It's part of God's plan. And I mean, she came. I mean, it wasn't like I was telling nobody what was going on. She literally came at the midnight hour for me. I had no job.
Do you think that men go through some of the same things
definitely
as we do, that they judging, they look at a guy and, you know, he got it all together and they judging them?
I think they do. I just don't think they'll say it out loud. Like
how we will,
yeah. We were like, girl, you know, she was like, but guys, they were like, they'll downplay, like, yeah, whatever, I don't mess with him.
He ain't all that. Yeah.
Any key words you hear that men say, you be like, okay. I think men go through the same. They have it the same way because we're human.
Right.
I just feel like because they are men, and sometimes men are raised to be like, you don't show these kind of emotions. they hide it better than we are.
Right.
We're
right.
females. We're really
Very
emotional.
emotional. Yeah. Sure,
emotions all over the place.
So let's talk about marriage.
Oh Lord.
Right?
Yeah.
So as far as like insecurity, do you think because other situations, like you said, that happened in your life, that did it make you insecure in your marriage? Or because sometimes I think that if I don't have confidence in one area, it spills over to other things. So even like in my marriage or other relationships. So if I think if I'm second guessing everything that I do, and then when it comes to my marriage, sometimes I think people second guess the choices, or maybe second guessing the fact that your husband chose you. You know what I'm saying? You would think he like a different type, or maybe he want a different type of woman. You know what I'm saying? Because you lack this. Because if you know that you lack this, I'm pretty sure that your spouse can see that you lack that too.
Well, my husband, oh goodness. So in the beginning, I always felt like, because I dealt with insecurities, I was like, I'm dark, you know. I always heard black this, black that, and got black hair thick and that, you know, and stuff. So I felt like I never was gonna get married. I did. I felt like I was nobody's type. Realistically, like, you know, I have a lot of friends, not a lot of friends, but some girlfriends that I talk to, and they talk about all these things they did when they were young, and I was like, I'm not judging, but I'm just like, I just never did that because of my insecurities. I never was promiscuous. And that's because of my insecurity. It didn't do opposite that it is for other people. Some people are insecure, so they do it.
Right. Because they want to feel loved and liked and connect with someone.
Right. But that was never mine. It always made me hold back. Because now when I met my husband, when I met my husband, it was like he watched me. We worked together. He watched me, and at some point, I don't know what made me go back there. I don't like people staring, so I went back there to say, like, you like what you see? Because, like, why you staring? Like, I was going to be a jerk, really. And when he was like, yeah, I was like, whoa, what I would do with that now? I walked right back up to the front. I was like, well, he said, yeah. Then after we got to talking or whatever, and, you know, we've been together, me and my husband been together like almost 25 years.
Wow.
We're not gonna get into it, but yeah, but I didn't think that I was, because he was tall, maybe by my complexion, he was tall. I just felt like he had it together, like he knew what he wanted to do or whatever. And I felt like at the time we kind of was together because we wound up having a child together. But he stepped up and was like, wherever my child gonna be, y'all gonna be. And that's kind of what happened. And then by the time I got pregnant with my second daughter, it was kind of like, we get married because at this point we got 2 kids together. But then I felt like, you know, it's been times in our marriage I feel like, well, he probably only married me because we got kids together. And you know,
and you think that's a part of your insecurity?
Yeah, it was, because I felt like I didn't do too much. I'm really like, until you get to know me, I'm really shy. I'm goofiest person you ever meet, but I'm really shy in the beginning. So I just don't feel like I always felt like he had it together. But he's goofy too. We got some of the same quality. He's shy too. He's goofy.
But I think too, shyness comes a part of the insecurity. You know what I'm saying? You don't want other people to see that part of you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially if you're around other people that's confident. So if you're around them, you playing the part. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, I'm one of y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, like when I got we definitely got to know each other even more, whatever. And the more time we spent together, it was like, dang, we got the same. Oh, you just like this. But eventually things change later in life or whatever, but at that time. And then like when things start coming, you know, them challenges start coming, you be like, yeah, I was never his type. Yeah, he don't like me for real. He only married me because we got kids together.
But I don't think that's true. I think sometimes it's not your fault when things start happening in a marriage and you insecure or whatever. It don't necessarily mean that it's something that you did or it's your fault. It could just be them. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
It could be.
But I will say, like in the beginning, he used to be like, "You just so beautiful." He was more mad at me because he spotted my insecurities. Like even like later, like we started going on vacations. We love to cruise, so we're going on vacations, and he'd be like, I want to sit up on the deck and I'm gonna go sit in the sun and go by the pool. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And I never said why I didn't want to do it. I just be like, yeah, I'll do it for like 5 minutes. After that, I'm finding something else to do. Or let's go swimming. Let's do this. I'm not doing that. And he caught on. He was like, I don't like the fact that you don't like your skin color. And I'm like, what? I never said that. I didn't have to.
Right.
Because he already knew. And it was little things that I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one thing I know that he cannot stand about me, is that I struggled for a long time with my skin complexion. It was a real big thing, and he hated it because I don't like insecure women. He was like, I don't like light skinned women.
But I noticed a lot of men don't like insecure women. You know what I'm saying?
Some women are just really good at just covering it.
Right, I know, but I'm saying
because a lot of men are married to a lot of insecure women.
I know. Because I think that when you're insecure, sometimes when your spouse go out, you're always thinking that they're looking at somebody else. Or if you see somebody walking towards you and you know that they're attractive and you think that they might look better than you, you're watching your spouse to see.
I actually don't. I don't.
I would look and like,
now when they
I would see them before. I would see them before my husband would. And I would just be looking to see, you
wait and see the passing and look at it
right.
So
I'd be like, I know you lying.
No, so okay, I wouldn't say. Well, I never was really insecure about other women at first, right? In my marriage, because he always in the beginning made me feel so secure. So when I would see other women, I'd take on a mirror. I'd be like, damn, she cute, or look, babe, like trying to beat it to see what he gonna do, but. Right. And then when you get an answer, you kind of be like, I knew it. But you setting yourself up for it. And you
I used to do that. Oh, she attractive. Kind of look straight ahead. He'd be like, I ain't falling for that. He'd be like, I ain't falling for that.
But now, when you feel secure in your marriage, it's okay to spot. Because the truth is, it's beautiful people out here. Beautiful men, beautiful women.
And I would tell, if I see a woman and I think she look good or something she got on or her hair is nice, I will give her a compliment, because I think women don't do that enough.
I do that.
I would say, oh, you girl, you on fire today. If you notice, if you give another woman a compliment, how it lights up their face, you know what I'm saying?
And they might need it.
Yep.
You never know. You actually might just be depositing some positivity in them. They really might need it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I do it. Like, I'm at a place where I could do that now. Like, I seen a woman, I was leaving my sister-in-law's house, and she had her hair. It was so pretty. And I said, yeah, it's so pretty. And she had a little attitude with her, but I didn't care because I meant what I said. I wasn't being funny. I was like, it's cute. And I said that because I was like, I got me a new hairdo. I'm about to try that or whatever. But it was pretty on her, and it's okay to compliment other women. It doesn't take away from you.
Right.
And again, everybody's fighting a battle that we don't know nothing about. So that probably was the best compliment she got for the day. You know, so I mean,
when you said that, it made me think about something like at work. There's some people at my job or just in the office period. If somebody comes into the office and they walk by them and they don't speak, they're immediately mad or pissed off at the person because the person didn't speak to them. And my thing is, you don't know what that person is going through, what they thinking about. They could be thinking about when they get to work, I got to do this, I got to do that. They could be analyzing everything that they need to do for that day. So the fact that they didn't talk to you wasn't anything personal towards you, is that they just had so many things on their mind that they was more focused on. I mean, people just take the wrong things to heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they ain't speak to me. I don't like them. They don't speak to me. I said, you don't even know what's going on with that person. You know what I'm saying? Stop expecting other people to respond the way that you will respond.
But we don't always get it right neither, though.
Right. And I always tell my husband all the time, because he'll say something to me, and if I don't respond the way that he wanted me to, he'll say, you should have said that. So you should have. I said, you can't tell me how to respond. I respond the way that I want to respond. You can't tell somebody how to act or how to respond from something that you said. You know what I'm saying? they're their individual person. They think totally different from you. So respect the fact that they respond in the way that they want to respond.
But also, you got to give people grace. And you got to understand, like, sometimes when you coming in the mornings, it's hectic. It's a lot. Like, now,
girl, sometimes you be in traffic, you know.
That part, and that trip, man, listen, I work in Georgetown. So every day is a hard day for me getting there or whatever. But when I come in there, I do, sometimes my face be a little jacked up or whatever. But when people speak, I speak back. You know what I'm saying? But and even if I don't, I notice somebody say, "Good morning, Tiara," and I walk in, I'm headed to my desk. But then I remember, I'm like, you know what? I'm so sorry. You said good morning. Good morning. How you doing? There's nothing wrong with going, circling the block and be like, you know, I'm so sorry. I have my AirPods in or whatever.
But even if somebody don't circle back, don't hold it against them that they didn't say good morning to you. Not everybody, but not every, people think people are so rude. Not everybody is rude.
Well, guess what? People have, what they say, we're creatures of habits or... If I see it's constantly, then after a while, I got a problem. Yeah, I got a problem. And guess what I'm not doing? I'm not speaking. I am that way. I would like, good morning.
No, I'm not going
to.
No, I'm going to speak.
I'll speak.
If
you get 3 chances for me to say good morning, and you don't say good morning, right? Guess what? I have feelings like you got feelings.
Yeah, I got feelings too, but I'm not going to let somebody else change the way that I would normally act.
Right.
If I would speak, if I would speak to you and you don't speak to me, that's you.
Yeah,
but me, that's my personality. That I'm gonna speak to you anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even if you don't say nothing, it's not hurt my feelings that you don't. Well, that's me. It doesn't hurt my feelings if you don't say.
Back to like what insecurity. Sometimes it can go back and say insecurity. Like, you didn't speak to me, or she got problems. She don't like me.
But that's not always
the truth. It ain't even about that or whatever.
Yeah, that's not always
the case.
When
I say the other end of it, it's like my job now. I've been there about 4 months now. And I believe they think I have the worst attitude. And the thing is, I'm like, they don't even know. I'm offended because I'm like, y'all don't even know me. Like, y'all don't understand. I am not the person.
Did one of them people speak to you and you speak back?
No, I speak every morning. I guess it's because I don't do the little break and stand on the floor and do the little, they all. So my interest into this job it has been a rough one. I've been put through the ringer. So now I'm finally at a place where I'm like in a stable position now. I'm stable there. It's like they already got their bonds. They already know each other. Now I'm the new person coming in. So I just kind of lean back. Like, they know I've been there. I've always been a new girl, but it's like now I'm there. So I work for pulmonary, and we have a clinic, and then we have the AA's offices. So I'm in the office with the doctors and stuff, but I didn't have a desk.
Right.
So they had me in the clinic, and I was working the clinic and doing my doctors, working for the doctors and stuff. So I kind of got a little bit of a relationship with the young girls upstairs, the medical assistants, and then the older women, they're downstairs. And it's like, I come down there when one of them are not there, and I'll sit at their desk to do the work. It's easy that way. But it's like, I could tell the relationship and everything got a little inside joke. So this is what I do. I have my AirPods on. If they come talking to me, yes, oh, thank you, how you doing? Whatever. But then they like, you got an attitude. But how I got an attitude when I speak to you guys? I mean, I say thank you. They call me, tell me something. I say thank you, whatever. I guess because I'm not socializing. But it really has nothing to do with them. It really just has to do with my position.
I wonder if, because you know how sometimes there's cliques at work or church.
Yeah.
Everything. Maybe it could be because you're not a part of that group, or you're not making yourself available to be.
But that was
okay. So we're talking about the workplace and friendships at the workplace. So I was just saying that I don't go to work to make friends. If I have friends at work, that's a bonus. I mean, I go to work to get paid for the job that they want me to do. I don't necessarily have to have friends at work. I try to keep separate my friends at work and my friends outside of work. I
thought they wasn't friends now.
Well, my co-workers. I try to keep my co-workers separate from my friends that I invite to my house.
Right.
I just don't think sometimes it's always a good mix when your co-workers come to your house and they're in your personal business.
Well, that's true. But that could be with anybody then.
It could be with anybody, but it's even worse.
But how do you make friends?
But it's even worse.
How do you tell who's a friend and who's not a friend? Like if you vibing with somebody at work, because eventually the fact of the matter, we're all human, right? We have human days. No matter how much professionalism we have human days. We come in, we upset, and somebody who genuinely is empathetic, that has compassion for people, will see that, and then sometimes you might open. It's like it kind of start like. So how do you start friends? How do you tell the difference between just your coworker and your friend?
I think sometimes friendships they're naturally. You know what I'm saying? You're around somebody and you just know if they're going to be a good friend or not. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just because you have stuff in common with somebody don't always mean that they're a good friend. Right. You know what I'm saying? People just got to pick your friends wise. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm smiling in your face and girl, let's go eat lunch together, don't mean I'm your friend.
Let me tell you, one of my oldest friends is a 60-something-year-old woman. That is my heart. I call her my mama. It's my work mama. We don't work together no more, but like to this day, she calls and checks on me. And I'm like, that is my mama. I don't even call her my friend. That's my mama. That's literally, she's been more of a mother to me than my own mother. Like when I say that's my mom, that's my friend, I'll be like almost my best friend, my work bestie. I call her my work bestie. It's just something that just happened naturally. It really wasn't like, I felt like I was left in her care to a certain extent. But it's just something that did happen naturally. And as much as we want to be like, no, I ain't trying to be friends with nobody at work, it happens.
I had a coworker, she said my father told me, do not come to work and eat lunch with your coworkers. He said that don't try to get that close with them because sometimes women be secretly jealous of you and you don't know.
But that's everywhere.
But then sometimes they do. They try to sabotage you on your job. You know what I'm saying? I just think when you go to work, it should be professional. But that's just me. Yeah. You know, that's just me. I don't like a bunch of coworkers in my house or in my personal thing. Because sometimes things that go on in my house, my other coworkers don't need to know. Right. You know what I'm saying?
But also it starts with us though. Sometimes we gotta check our emotions at the door. Because sometimes you come in, you having a hard day and kind of start having diarrhea at the mouth, and you start talking to us. No, can't nobody do nothing, use anything against you that you don't tell nobody. That's why I always tell people, can't nobody talk about Tiara better than Tiara can talk about it. I tell you what you need to, what I want you to know, not what you need to know, what I want you to know. Right. And just because I tell you something don't always mean that that's exactly what it's been and it's going to continue to be. That's just at that very present. One thing about me, I'm an open book. I hate that part about me because I talk too much, and I talk too much about myself. Now nobody else. Now I'm a diary for everybody else, but me, I wear my emotions on my sleeve.
But do you think that sometimes when you talk too much about yourself, you're opening it up for other people to go tell your business?
Yeah, it's true. But again,
and then do you get mad that if somebody tells your business of something that you told them and you know you just tell everything?
Now, who are we talking about? Because well, I guess anybody. I mean, so far I have not heard anything that I've said anything to about, oh, well, somebody said you this or I heard this. So far, anybody I've told things to have always kept it. And if they did, the people that they told it to respects them enough not to say anything as well. So I don't have a problem. My thing is, if I tell you, it's me. I do not have to take that responsibility of the backlashes. So if I do find out it's on Channel 5 News and stuff, then who can I really be mad at but myself? But I learned. Now I'm learning. I can't trust you. And I hope I don't see you outside.
You don't mean that.
I don't. I'm not even that person no more. But no, seriously, it can be. It depends on what you're telling people. Right. Because sometimes, like I said, we are women. We are emotional. We have a lot of hormones going everywhere. But sometimes we just need that one person. And you just might happen to get it. You can be like, "How you doing, Tiara?" I'm good. Oh my God. And then you, being you might, oh my God, are you okay? And I might just need somebody to spill it to because I can't trust my mama, can't trust the people I'm in the house with or whatever, or sometimes you can't trust your best friend. So a stranger is better than that. If that stranger go back and go around the workplace and be like, girl, yeah, because she just started crying.
But you don't know. Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know until it happens.
I think a lot of times as women, we just share more than we should.
Yeah.
And then a lot of our personal stuff. And then I think sometimes we share stuff that we wish we could take back. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I probably shouldn't have told them that. You know what I'm saying?
But it also, when you have those moments, it also helps you. it also helps you be mindful of the things you say. But I feel like with me doing that, now I'm going back into a closet. So I'm not allowed to be Tiara no more because Tiara talks too much. So I'm just like, I'm quiet, I'm okay. No, everything. So when everybody else is sharing, I'm just like, nope, I don't feel safe no more.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that comes with maturity too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody don't need to know everything. And some things is you just need to keep to yourself.
I understand sometimes when you're going through something, sometimes you need to share with somebody. But I think, what I realized that when I'm going through stuff, because I've overshared stuff when I was going through stuff before.
Yeah.
And I've learned now to, if I need to talk about it, I just write it in my diary.
Yeah.
Or I started recording stuff that I wanted to say in my phone.
Good.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah, I would record how I felt.
Oh Lord, pray. I feel bad somebody found my phone.
It's okay. They should have been
in your phone in the first place.
Right. But to me, that helped a lot. Like if I would go back and listen to how I felt that day, I got it up off of me without sharing it with everybody.
But you know what? That goes into another thing is why is it that we don't want we fake it, that whole fake it till we make it. Like when you say you need to get up off of you, we do. A lot of us, we press it down, press it down. And then it starts forming us to be somebody else. Now you building another issue or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a water fountain when it comes to me and my problems. Not that I'm looking for anybody to listen to me. I have people that I might go to, and I know I shouldn't say nothing, or maybe I'm like, I don't want them to look at me crazy, but I need to say it. And then versus keeping it into, but I know when I keep stuff in me, it turns me into I'm not happy, I'm depressed.
But so I feel like how you say you gotta tell somebody or whatever, but do you find that when you tell somebody something that your spouse or your partner did, sometimes the bad stuff that you're telling them makes them change their opinion about that person.
Definitely.
And then they don't like that person.
Definitely.
And the person didn't do nothing to them. But because
they pick up the offense. I get that. Yeah.
Right.
That's good. Yeah, that's real good, Barbara. Because I think I was just talking about that at church one day. I think we all human. Same thing. Okay, so my brother-in-law just got married, and one of the things the pastor said, and I think everybody said, is when you have a problem with your spouse, don't go to this person. You go to your spouse, because when you're finished being mad at your spouse, they are mad, and I have to say that has been a constant in my marriage.
Because
you go to your family thinking that they got your best intentions, but they got your back. But sometimes they like, now we're gonna treat you like this,
and they treat them different.
They do,
and then sometimes that causes problems.
It does
in the marriage and the relationship
because
now your spouse don't want to go around your family because of the stuff that you told them.
Yeah.
Because they treating them or looking at them
and they're like, we don't treat you no different, but you see it. You see the whispers, or you see the things that you used to do, don't do no more. Or just comment like, oh, you treat my daughter like crap. I don't even want you over here.
And then sometimes, even if they don't treat you a little different, sometimes when men know that you done told you, that the fact that you done told somebody how they was treating you, they feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
They feel ashamed. And it makes them not want to go around them. I just think to eliminate that, sometimes we should just limit what we tell people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Your relationship, that's like another thing with being friends with women. Being friends, like if I have a best friend, my best friend, and she has friends outside there, and she tell me one thing that somebody did or whatever, I'm guilty of it. If that's my best friend and you did that, I got a problem with you. I do. But then again, I got a problem with you because I'm like, why would you go back to that? If you and you can't, it's human, because it's like your child said, this little boy hit me in my face. You got a problem with that child.
Right.
It's you can't help it. You want to protect
but
who you love. And
but
what
I
you
also
love.
think too, if you 9 times out of the 10, you know that you're not going to leave whoever, your spouse, your partner, or whatever. So why would you tell somebody else the bad things they did to you when you know you're going to stay? It's one thing if I leave and then I tell you, oh yeah, I went through this, I went through that, he abused me. Okay, so we're talking about friendships and co-workers, being your friends and inviting them to your house. Tiara, so what do you think about that?
I don't invite nobody to my house, actually. I mean, because I'm barely ever home. I'm always out and about. But as far as, like I said, we are human beings. You are actually going to bond with people. You're going to meet people that you probably never thought that you would ever talk to in life and actually be the closest of friends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we just got to use discernment, use wisdom, and we just got to learn how to, everything is not for sharing. Some things you just have to keep to yourself.
Right. And that's even like how we were talking about, even like with our kids, telling our kids how to choose their friends.
Right.
I tell my kids all the time, be careful the people that you be with, because one bad decision can alter the rest of your life.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So I always say, be careful. If your friends is doing something that you don't normally do, or you feel uncomfortable about what there is that they're doing, then I mean, as adults and kids, you need to evaluate that friendship.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
They might not be the friends that you need in your life. You know?
That's true. And I tell my daughter, I tell all my daughters that. But I have one, my middle daughter, that's at Bowie State. Her first year of college, when I say I'm glad we made it through that, because I promise I wanted to wring her neck. She went out to college, and she wasn't doing anything bad. It was just the things that the other kids was doing, and she wanted to be a part. And it was like they were in abandoned buildings and train tracks. And I'm like, why y'all out at 11 o'clock at night on train tracks and abandoned buildings? Anything
Don't
can
you got
happen.
some studying to be doing?
You would think, but I guess that was the party year, because she ain't missed a beat. But nevertheless, it was just the fact that I get wanting to fit in. I get we're not on earth to be by ourselves or whatever, but every crowd is not your crowd. And sometimes you got to be like, no, I ain't doing that.
But you know what? That's not just true for kids. That's true for adults too.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody is not your crowd.
Yeah, that's true. And you kind of, it's like you say, trial and error. It is. Sometimes you give people a chance and then you're like, yeah, that's not for me. I'm not going to do that.
I try to always give people the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Like I was saying, I try to, if someone might say, oh, you shouldn't be friends with this person, or you shouldn't be friends with that person, your experience with that person might be different than my experience. So I try not to let people tell me who to be friends with.
Right.
But I do, once I see who you are, I believe it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you be like, oh, maybe it wasn't like that, or maybe they didn't mean it like that.
Right.
But now
but it's always three sides to a story.
Yeah.
It's your side, their side, and the truth.
Yeah.
So therefore you got to find out for people who you are. That's kind of been some things that I used to be upset about, is because people don't ever get a chance to know me based on, because you know me, you took the time to sit there. It's always about what somebody else said. And what somebody else said has always benefited them. So yeah, I mean, I completely understand it. I don't like nobody telling me who I can and can't be friends with, because you never know what impact they might have on your life or what impact you can have on their lives.
Right. But just because you had that experience with them don't mean that, you know what I'm saying? Right. I'm going to have the same experience. I mean, sometimes certain people bring out different things in people. You know what I'm saying? Just because they act like that around you don't mean they're going to act like that around me.
But then you also got to remember, it's not that you're using anyone. You never know who is going to be that person to take you to that place. Like I was saying earlier, like, you know, I had Minister Kid. She reached out to me for a job, and I was a secretary for so many years. And when she got ready to elevate herself and go to HR, she put me in her position. She referred me. She didn't have to do that. Because like I always say, I wasn't qualified. I didn't know what I was doing or whatever, but she believed in me. And she taught me. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, you don't knock people. Because what happens if I'm like, she called me like, why is she calling my phone? No, I ain't answering that phone. Look where I am now. Now I'm a whole executive assistant to 2 doctors at Georgetown Hospital.
That's good.
But it's because of the relationship that I had with somebody that believed in me and that pushed me. That's one thing about her, or in a few other women I have in my lives, is that when I'm always saying something negative, they telling me, you are not like that. That is not what I see. That's not, you're bigger than that. So you want to have friends, and you want to have people that's going to hold you accountable and not just always take from you, but it's always pushing you too.
Yeah.
That's always the blessing.
That's why I was telling you that sometimes people see stuff in you that you don't see in yourself. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just gotta trust the process. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Or then, you know what? I want to bring this up. I remember I had a conversation with somebody, and someone said, "Well, you're the stronger friend. She the weaker friend." And to this day, that bothers me because in my eyes, I've never seen that person as a weak person, a weak friend. I always felt like that friend was more stronger than me because it's some things that I can deal with that she may not be able to, but it's things that she can deal with that I can't. So I never see a friendship as, well, I'm the stronger friend and she the weaker friend. I never see it that way. It's just that some people have more value, not more value, but like some people can do more or can handle more than you can. So whatever thing that I lack, my friend has. My friend is. Same
That's
thing
what
like
I was
in your
about
marriage.
to say. It's just like in a relationship. I mean, and you were put together for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You were weak here, but she was, strong there.
In that area, right?
And it complement each other in the friendship. Friendships is not for everybody else. Your relationship you have with somebody is your relationship.
And it's going to be different because how you are with a set of person or a set of people, I may not be that way. We're not like that. Like I have like my best friend here on. I'm telling you, we don't take nothing serious. You would think that, and everybody call us freaking fragment. When you see her, you see me. And it's not like that no more.
You see her.
Right. But when I tell you, we are the two most goofiest people. And I can be completely 100% Tiara. Like everything, I am the goofiest person. A lot of times I don't take a lot of stuff serious. Like when I say we are goofy, we laugh. Every chance we get, we're laughing. It's nothing serious with us. But I have other friends where I'll be like, oh, well, I can't just, not that I can't be. I just choose not to be that goofy because they're not. I kind of match energies sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can be yourself, but every friend serves a different purpose in your life.
Right. That's true. So is it something that you want to share as we wrap this up?
I just want to share. This has been actually fun. I've never done nothing like this. So this has been, and I just love, let me just say, okay, I have to take this time and say this. I am so proud of Barbara. I am so proud of Barbara. I said, look at you. Came out your cocoon. You're a whole beautiful butterfly now. So I love all this for you. And thank you for this platform to be able to talk because I don't really talk like that. And I appreciate this. I really love the talking about women, girl things. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I believe that everybody has a story to tell that can help somebody else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We are, what they say, we overcome by our testimonies, right?
That's true.
So there we go.
And everything we go through, I believe, is to help somebody else.
Definitely. Our life is not our own.
So we want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. And we hope that you enjoyed our conversation. And if you could comment, like, and share this broadcast. Good night, everybody.
Good night.